A major and potentially dangerous severe weather outbreak is unfolding today across large parts of the United States, with millions of residents from Texas through the Midwest urged to remain alert and prepared. Meteorological conditions indicate a high-impact weather event that could bring multiple hazards, including damaging winds, large hail, and the possibility of strong tornadoes. According to the latest forecast analysis, this system presents two primary threats. The first involves discrete supercell thunderstorms capable of producing intense tornadoes, some of which could reach EF3 intensity or higher. These storms are expected to develop mainly during the afternoon and evening hours, particularly across states such as Oklahoma, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin. The second and more widespread threat comes from a large-scale damaging wind event. Thunderstorms are expected to organize into a powerful line, bringing widespread wind gusts ranging between 60 to 85 miles per hour. These winds have the potential to cause structural damage, uproot trees, and disrupt power infrastructure across affected regions. The Storm Prediction Center has issued an enhanced risk, categorized as level 3 out of 5, for severe weather across a broad area stretching from Oklahoma City through parts of Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, and into Wisconsin. Surrounding regions, including parts of Texas and Michigan, fall under a slight risk category, while areas such as Dallas are included in a marginal risk zone. Despite the current classification, weather experts emphasize that atmospheric conditions could support a more significant outbreak. There is a strong possibility of widespread severe weather impacts, particularly if storms develop in a more isolated or discrete manner. In such scenarios, the likelihood of long-track and more intense tornadoes increases significantly. The primary concern throughout the day remains widespread damaging winds. Forecast models indicate that the highest probability for these winds has shifted slightly eastward. Areas including Kansas City, Davenport, and regions near Springfield, Illinois, are expected to face the greatest risk. Meteorologists estimate a 45% chance of damaging wind gusts within a 25-mile radius in these regions. In addition to wind, large hail is another major hazard associated with this system. Early storm development could produce hailstones as large as baseballs, particularly during the initial stages of thunderstorm formation. These conditions are expected to begin developing late in the morning, with a more rapid intensification anticipated between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. local time. Tornado risk is also elevated, especially across parts of Iowa and Wisconsin. A particularly concerning zone has been identified east of Des Moines, extending into southwestern Wisconsin. This region is expected to experience highly favorable conditions for strong tornado development, including EF3 or greater intensity. However, the risk is not limited to this area alone. A broader corridor stretching from Oklahoma City through Kansas and into Minnesota remains under threat for tornado activity. Meteorological parameters further support the potential for severe weather escalation. Strong wind shear combined with increased atmospheric instability and low-level rotation creates an environment highly conducive to supercell development. These factors are expected to peak during the mid to late afternoon hours, increasing the likelihood of rotating thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes. As the system evolves into the evening, severe weather threats are expected to persist. Even as storms begin to merge into larger clusters or lines, the risk of embedded tornadoes remains. These types of tornadoes can develop rapidly within lines of thunderstorms and may be difficult to detect visually, posing an additional danger. Timing plays a critical role in today's forecast. By late morning, isolated thunderstorms may begin to form across parts of Minnesota, gradually moving into Wisconsin. These early storms could already produce hail and possibly isolated tornado activity. By early afternoon, around 1 to 2 p.m., storm development is expected to intensify significantly across northeastern Iowa and central Wisconsin. During this phase, multiple thunderstorms may develop simultaneously, with several showing signs of rotation early in their life cycle. This increases the probability of severe hail and tornado formation. As the afternoon progresses toward 3 p.m., supercell thunderstorms are likely to become more widespread. Some of these storms may remain semi-discrete, meaning they are loosely connected but still capable of producing severe weather independently. However, any storm that remains fully isolated poses the greatest risk for producing long-track and potentially violent tornadoes. By late afternoon, around 4 p.m., thunderstorm coverage is expected to expand rapidly. At this stage, numerous storms across Wisconsin, Illinois, and surrounding areas may exhibit strong rotation. Meteorologists note that atmospheric conditions during this period are highly volatile, with significant tornado parameters reaching extreme levels. Moving into the early evening hours between 5 and 6 p.m., storm activity is expected to become even more widespread. Rotating thunderstorms will continue to pose a tornado threat, while a developing line of storms begins to organize. This transition marks the beginning of a shift toward a more widespread damaging wind event. During the evening, especially between 7 and 9 p.m., a large and powerful line of thunderstorms is expected to move across major population centers, including Chicago and surrounding areas. This line will likely produce intense wind gusts and may also contain embedded tornadoes. The severe weather threat is expected to continue into the late evening and possibly past midnight. While intensity may gradually decrease overnight, the duration of this event could extend beyond 16 hours, making it a prolonged and potentially exhausting situation for emergency services and residents alike. In the southern plains, including Oklahoma and Kansas, the setup differs slightly but remains dangerous. Storms in this region are expected to develop slightly later in the day, generally between 3 and 4 p.m. These storms will form along a cold front and may quickly become severe. By early evening, supercells are expected to develop across this region as well, bringing the risk of tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. As the night progresses, these storms are likely to merge into a larger system, moving southeast toward areas such as Dallas, Fort Worth, and Little Rock. Looking ahead to Saturday, the severe weather threat shifts toward the Ohio Valley. Cities including Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo may experience scattered thunderstorms. While the overall risk appears lower compared to today, there remains a chance for damaging wind gusts, moderate hail, and isolated tornadoes. Meteorologists indicate that this secondary system will depend heavily on atmospheric recovery following today's storms. If conditions become favorable, a line of thunderstorms could develop, producing wind gusts between 60 to 70 miles per hour and localized severe impacts. By Sunday, conditions are expected to stabilize, bringing a temporary end to the severe weather pattern. Forecast models suggest a break in storm activity for several days, allowing affected regions time to recover. In summary, today's severe weather outbreak poses a significant risk across multiple states. Residents in affected areas are strongly advised to stay informed through reliable weather updates, have multiple methods of receiving alerts, and be prepared to take immediate action if warnings are issued. Preparedness is essential during events of this magnitude. Ensuring access to safe shelter, securing outdoor objects, and remaining aware of rapidly changing weather conditions can make a critical difference in safety outcomes. This concludes the latest detailed weather update on the ongoing severe weather situation. Stay tuned to official weather services for continuous updates as conditions evolve throughout the day and into the night.